Okay, I see them on now. Hi guys, it is me, Empress Jack Rabbit, and I am here tonight. I always say this to you guys, but it's true. I'm keeping up with my 365 days um, of videoing, and I think I hit just about every day. Um, some days I don't, and I know that I don't because I have teaching obligations, so then that keeps me away. But I usually come back with something. Today I'm going to do a reading. I was asked to do a reading on Diggy Simmons, Reverend's son, and Jacob Latimore, actor, singer. He just put out for the summer Heartbreak Heard Around the World. He did a feature on Issa's Breathe. That is so good. He was in Maze Runner. He's the star of Black Nativity, by the way, the young lad. Um, and many other movies, Ride Along and stuff like that. So the reason why I'm doing this is it was a request, and the person wanted to know how they got along or are they compatible. And so let me break them down individually, and we'll get to that. So looking at Diggy, I'm looking down at his numbers so I can see. I thought I'd make my face up today. So, okay, so looking at him, first of all, he is an Aries. Got a lot of threes in his number, so that's an indicative of a person that loves the spotlight. Oops, sorry guys. Let me get that back going again. There we go. So he loves the spotlight. He loves attention. He loves to have things to say. He's got an opinion on everything. He looks like that on the outside. He acts like that because his life path is also a number 3. The early part of his life, he was about fun, playing, just enjoying life, being very creative, really kind of wise and good with his advice, and he still continues to be that today. He does have a bit of an emphasis on relationships, but if you're going to be in a relationship with him, he's not going to be one of these new metrosexual dudes I think of. When I think of how a lot of these ladies carry these men around like a purse, or they call it all the shots, and it's completely out of balance. He's going to lead. That's just the bottom line. And if you go with the flow, you'll have fun with him. If you don't, he'll move on. For a lot of his life, he's had a lot of responsibilities as far as being there or being the nurturer for his family and close friends, but mostly his family. He'd be the person that they would look to for advice. He'd be the person they could depend on to watch the younger kids. He might be the person counting the money. Really, he had more of a mature sensibility about him that was kind of forced on him, you might want to say, since early on. But most of the time, he's just been enjoying himself. This year, he is in a number 5 years. So for him, that means that there's more fun to be had. He's going to be doing a lot of traveling. Going to a lot of different cities. If he hasn't moved out, he will move, and if he has moved, he might move again from there. A lot of changing his image and his hair and his dress and shoes. So a lot of changes, but not internal spiritual changes, but more of just on the outside type of changes. And he might move out and move back home again, so it'll be like that. But he'll be on the go. A lot of short trips. He won't be really doing anything like going overseas, not a lot of trips like that, but local trips, like touring in his local area, whether it's in New York, and different states around that, or LA, different states around there. Working with a variety of different artists as well. Very creative person, I have to really say, very creative young man. Then we have Jacob Latimore. His birthday is August 10th, 1996. And for him, he is looks like a number nine. He looks like that person who was in the wrong business. I have to be honest to say. He is really a spiritual person, a humanitarian. He learned all he needed to learn from a heavy parental influence, really going along with the family rules and traditions. And those family bonds mean everything to him, so they're not going to be broken. Um, you're going to know of him. If you don't know him, you are going to know him from now until the next 4 or 5 years. You're really going to know a lot about him. He is a very hard worker, very self-determined. Early on, they've struggled with money a little bit. It comes in a lot, and they have a lot of things, or it's a little bit thin. And he's been the breadwinner of the house, like the man of the house, if you want to say. He's very independent. He is very much a leader. He has a very serious nature to him. He likes stability. He doesn't like a lot. He does not like a lot of changing and moving around. He likes a lot of time alone, whether it's, I don't know, sleep or watching movies or whatever, listening to music. He studies music. Like if you were a clarinet player, you'd be studying clarinet, taking lessons, what have you. He studies music, producing, auto-tuning, or whatever. He studies the art of music very well. I happen to know he comes from a musical background, so he has got great teachers around him. They say there's no accidents in the universe, and he's in the right place where he should be. He can have a tendency to be a little bit stubborn. He can sometimes be a little bit of a hothead, but because of his strong binds and ties to his family, you can kind of always get over it. I guess that's what you want to say. 15, 16. Overall, though, he is a number 7 person, and those people are our religious leaders, our spiritual gurus, our scientists, our inventors, our creators. They have to have time alone. They have to have a real peaceful environment. They have to have a peace of mind. And so he'll go out on a tour. He will really blow it out. And then he'll come back in and he'll go into total shutdown mode. For him, this year, 9, 8, 17, 8, it's going to be a money year. He's going to find this year, he's going to be a little bit more prosperous than he was last year. Even though he came out with a couple of good songs last year, he's going to do better. It was kind of, he didn't get the accolades or the money or the awards and things that he felt that he deserved. But this year will be much better. He'll really be about his business even stronger. He'll be back out there with, he's going to pour out a lot of new music. This year he's going to want to get that album out. If he doesn't get that album out, he's going to quit his record label next year. Trust me, he will. So he's going to try to really get that album out. If he gets that album out, and I don't mean a mixtape, I mean a real album, it'll be quite successful actually. He's got a long time of being very popular and being in the spotlight. Now, as far as him and Diggy getting along, if you want to say, I'm going to tell you it's a business relationship, and that's what it is. I think a lot of his relationships are, because I know he is an only child, so he would have grown up under his parentage, parents or aunts, uncles, what have you, maybe cousins, but not as many kids. He wouldn't have gone to a school because he's a child performer. He's been on television and movies and acting, so he wouldn't have had the time to, be at audition or perform or what have you, make records if he was in the classroom. So he's not in that anymore. But he lacks that kind of relationship ability, I want to say. But he doesn't mind it because he's so much about business and taking care of the house and getting his money right and doing his thing. I want to do my thing. I want to go first. This is mine. I'm going to lead this up. I'm going to organize this. He's much more of a planner than a doer. But I'm telling you what I can tell from his numbers, and he doesn't even know this at this point, unless he's heard my video. He's going to end up being working in the church. He is going to continue doing this, what he's doing, but he's going to almost be like a Dietrich Haddon, if you know who that is. He's on Preachers of LA or Fix My Choir. And he's a really inspirational young man. He came out of Detroit preaching. He has some personal issues. I won't get into all that. He ended up having to leave that behind, and the family tradition of the church behind, and go out to California. He needed to find himself in his own way. He still kept tied to his roots, but he's doing things in the way that he wants to do, which is religion in the new millennium. And I think that that is going to be Jacob. He will really begin doing that. Not right now, but in a few years from now, maybe 10 years from now, 15 years from now, that's going to have a real calling on his heart. And when he decides to answer the call, that call, because it's already been ordained for him, he's going to be a giant. And you're going to hear from him, and you're going to hear gospel albums being released. He's going to be on different, like Bobby Jones or whatever, different gospel programs or BET awards, heading up his own church. He could be, as big as a lot of like T.D. Jakes and, a lot of people like that are out there and on there, because it's been called on his spirit. He just hasn't answered, simply because he's so obsessed with using his gift for in a pop mode, because he's trying to cross over in a pop. And you know how it is when you try to make something happen, it doesn't always happen. Anyways, that's my reading for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, and remember, until the end of January, if you'd like to get a reading yourself, please include your birthday. It is the month, the year, and the date, and I'll be back with you. Have a great evening.